Hello traders, welcome to a new video of me reviewing Bitcoin, this time with pure price action. uh, November 6 is the date, so Thursday. So I have marked the window here to see what we're going through. I started analyzing a little bit, but this is the window time frame that we are using, and the top and the bottom is the previous high and low of the previous day, basically. Starting out, we're coming into this, we basically have an uptrend that played out here. Get a new high, so the uptrend played out. So essentially, this is a good trade. If this was this bar right here was red, meaning that it ended here, I would have marked this as a trade. Now let's actually make this like, yeah, let's make it like this, just orange. So it's like you can take them, but make sure to be it's a higher low or lower high, sorry, lower high trade. So after a trend played out, see the short-term trend here. I don't know, can you draw it like this as well? Yeah, maybe you get there. I like to draw it like this. You see that there's no second entry here, but essentially from this you get a break and then a new high. That's usually what you have. You have the same thing here. You get the break and you get a lower high right after the uptrend played out. If this was a red bar, I'd mark it green, but it worked out really well. Even if you enter here, it worked well. Since this didn't close above the previous, well, it actually closed above the previous body, so it could still be like, yeah, it's an uptrend, so you could actually take this one, but I'd still mark it like this. It's not super good in my opinion. But you get your new low here. You have a new market structure. Is really no trades. You can actually do this. There's like a no-go zone here. You cannot take a trade here. You cannot keep taking lower highs because you know from the short-term trend here, sorry here, from this trend channel, it broke and overshoot basically. Get back in off both the key entry points here, down, and you have your new low. You can't not trade for more lows essentially, because what you've had from Wednesday at the bottom here, you just had a big climb up. Then obviously you know that overall trend for Bitcoin is bearish and down. So it all depends. It's always a risk, whatever side you're on. It's all about risk. Uh, but essentially, I would not take a trade here. That's what I'm saying. You don't even have a second entry. If this was second entry, maybe take this bar, but let the market do its thing here. We cannot be active everywhere. But you have the newest low here. You also get this breaks out new. Gonna be picky. It kind of breaks here, then you get your new high on these two places. So kind of Choppy zone, you cannot take much here. There's no entry point, no lower high here either. So here, in this case, I would look to trading both ways. There's no clear trend. I mean, there is. Obviously there is. Lower highs everywhere. But there's no clean structure to, especially when we end up here and then we end up here. As you see, higher low, higher high. So you have your short-term trend here. First entry, down second entry. It's not perfect, but this is a trade I take usually. Let me just drag this window out of there. Just watching the market right now, that's what I'm doing. 1 second. There we go. So I mean, you do get out for 1.5. Oh. I mean, you essentially enter here. You do get out for 1.5 quite easily. So that's a good trade. Then I'm not really sure how to draw this, but I'd say it's more congested, right? What you do have is more reaction on the lower end, even though the volume is on the lower end. There's not really any trade here, in my opinion. Maybe if you draw it like this, but again, it's not perfect. I'd say compare in this scenario, compare with other assets like Ethereum, Solana, XRP. How do they look? Is there a second entry there? Then go for this bar. Because if you're like, yeah, let's really zoom in here. Because here you actually have first entry, second entry, but no trade. But if you don't take account this bar, it's a first entry, second entry, then you kind of have this confirmation bar. Maybe you can go for it. I mark this orange yet again. So when I do these, when I do these position symbols, that means that's a trade I would take. But when I do the arrows, it means a trade I wouldn't take, but you definitely can. But if you draw this line, you get a new high here. And then I could see a downtrend going. So break here. No second entry. Could have been a good trade here. If this was higher, better signal bar, then you can take this. So that's the... It is a good signal bar per se, but the position is not what we want, essentially. Let's say I draw it like this, and it was all the way up here and down through both key entry points, the trend channel, upper trend channel line, and the EMA 21, then you can go for it. But again, you see that it works. You just cannot stress. Don't try to stress the bottom. Like, you cannot trade in the opposite direction, right here, for example, or right here. You can, but here you would get stopped out there or whatever. So again, there is triple test here. But there are no good bars, in my opinion. It's just... Well, it actually is. It is good bars. What am I saying? It's basically... I mean, it's such a small box that it rejects into, so to speak. most bodies are in this small area. It's like there are so much interest here to buy. But again, you see, we can do second and do shorts here. Or a first entry, second entry long failure. Because it's a first entry, second entry. This is actually decent second entry long, but we know the short-term trend rule. After breaking a new high, again. Or a new low here and a triple test. I can actually see this being a trade. But you can't really get out on that great position. I'd probably close it here after this bar. I'd probably close it here. It's not the best trade. Or if you go for a one-to-one, which some people do, I do that sometimes as well. You see also there is congestion, so you could make an yeah, what do you call it? The argument for this is so congested. At this point, right? It's quite congested. What? It's quite congested, and I pushed below. I'm aiming for this wick right here. So that's a one-to-one, essentially. It's all about how the price got there, what the structure is, and what the signal bar is. I mean, in this case you can scalp it for a lot more. Because how did the bar get here? There was so much movement, so much volatility. Just recently. Here, not so much. We had some more congestion. There was some bigger bars here, but they're not that big in reality. They're like this. If you just look at them, it's not huge. Like these bars are bigger. Like there's more things happening. Now we're in a more calm state. We can't chase too much. We get some more shop. New low. First entry, second. Maybe you can take. Now, if this was a red bar, you can take it. I'm not even gonna mark it. But you have a new high. You see, okay, it's testing. It's getting first entry, second entry. Again, unlucky with the bars today, but I'd mark this because you see here you actually start to see consolidation a range forming. Reason I draw it like this because of the bar right. This is a second entry. A clean one as well. If it was a better bar, I'd mark it, but in this case it's actually good that it's not a better bar. Well, because you can't scalp for 1.5. Here. If it was like this, then you cannot get out in this case. I mean, do you even get stopped here? No, you don't. So you can fight through this bar as well and then go for more, but I don't know, this is not a trade I like. If the bar looked like this, I'd take it. So we're going very slow through this, but essentially what you start seeing here is more basically cutting the range. It's getting more and more bearish. Still have a reaction here, but it's pushing lower. I cannot really see a good trade here. I mean, maybe. First entry, second entry, you can take this or this. I mean, really, you can make a case for a triple test here. I'd probably say that this bar is the best, and it will pay off. It will be tough here. I mean, it will almost get stopped out, but I can see myself taking this actually. Break new low, but it's rejected of DMA. We start to see a new downtrend. It's hard to draw these trends in a range and use the same uh, logic with the short-term trend. Sure, you have a break new low, but I don't know. You can mark it like this as well. You say that, yeah, this is not a break. You have to break here. Yeah, it's tougher, but I'd say I'd probably I'm already this orange. Because how would I trade this? I would not trade it like this. I would see like, yeah, maybe we can start pushing into the range again. But we don't really, so it's, yeah. But I'm already this orange. We get our new low. I always find this with Bitcoin that there is no, for me at least, in my opinion and in my, what do you call it? On my 3-minute candles, I don't find that many trades. I mean, there are some, of course, but it's just not clean enough. It's all messy. Um, However, you have this. Breaks. It looks clean off the key entry point. Higher low. Of the EMA. And a triple test. Right around this area, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 even. Um, but then there's nothing. I'm not even gonna mark this. I mean, there's nothing to discuss right there. Here we have again. So Bitcoin seems to respect more of these like triple tests things. And like key levels, like more horizontal key congestion levels. Seem to respect them more. So what you could say then, I mean, in a live trade I would draw trends everywhere, but here I probably wouldn't. It's just So I'm just eyeing a trade on Solana here. Let me just prepare something here. Should have paused. Okay. First entry. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's nothing here for me. I don't like it. New low. First entry, second entry. I'd perhaps take this, but with a more conservative RR, basically. That's when I use 1 to 1. I mean, it sounds so weird. You could, in another case, maybe here, I'd probably take this as well, but it would run. I mean, that would have been all you need for the day. But when it's not off the key entry point, it is a second entry, but it's a huge bar. It's already a new low. At the same, it's like 50-50 for me. Depends on what the market is doing, but what we see, I mean, overall, it's more down. Everything pushes down overall. Not every low or whatever, but here and there. So, but you do get your new low. That the trend has probably played out. Maybe do something like this. Get a break. Equal high here. If this was red as well, this would be in this bar, it would be a triple test, but percentages. Maybe if this was also with the EMA, this would be a really good bar. Um, but uptrend played out because we know it's more down overall. See higher low. It's not really a market like this, right? Um, Just 1.5 here. Good trade. It runs down. It is more sharp right. Essentially, at some point here, you got to try to look at a bigger, uh, I don't know what you can call it, bigger picture trend. But I cannot find anything with that I'm confident in here. Just keep overshooting, so there's not really any trades here. see actually. Okay, maybe this then, but this is too early. So we're going to break new low. So there is a first entry, second entry, but it's out of it's middle of nowhere, in my opinion. This bar. It runs down. First entry. I mean, you see, there's no really like second entry on Bitcoin, in my opinion. But at some point you gotta turn. You gotta let the market do its thing here. You want to be in it. You want to ride this down, but you can't ride it down every time, right? First entry, second entry, long. I'd be careful with this bar. It's just a bad bar again. It's not good enough. First entry right there. This bar. It's down and then up, but it's good compared to the previous bar. I'd say, yeah, I'd say take it. I mean, somehow this is way too like overdue. No matter how you draw it, it's just overdue that sometime we're gonna get a little bit of pullback correction, right? And we get it. Maybe you can get a runner for this or try to go for even more. But I keep my 1.5 right. That's what I try to do. And again, first entry, second entry short doesn't work. I mean, if you would follow the normal as what we done the whole video, I mean, okay, overshoot, it's fine. First entry, second entry, it's not good enough at all for short. And you can't go long either. Just have to wait. Keep drawing these. First entries, can maybe scalp it out. I mean, okay, it's such a small bar. You can maybe scalp out something here. If you want to be really... Okay, so I just got my trade on Solana here. I actually got what trade here. Oh, I didn't record it. But I did this trade, sorry, middle of the video. Basically first entry, second entry. I got in late, but we scalped out the 1-to-1 here. Got in late because of the... Oh, you don't even see it. Dang it. I can actually do it like this then. I just want to show a trade. Because who really cares what happened in the past? I took this trade. I probably ended right here. I took this trade. Right here. It's probably gonna push lower. Like, yeah. Obviously it does. You can get 1.5 here, but I didn't. I just had to focus on the video. But this is kind of the... This is actually first entry. But this is a clean first entry. The second entry, I took this bar, but I was a little bit late in. But it worked out really well. Let's go back to Bitcoin, shall we? We're soon done. But yeah, as I said, you can... Wait. No, I won't mark this. It's a break and then again. It's too... It's not good enough. There's not much you can do here. Essentially know that uptrend probably played out somewhere here because you see a lower. Ooh, I like this. You see the lower. New low. First entry down. Second entry. Yeah, the bar is way, way off. But at this point, right, you can start like seeing maybe I don't like the 3 test here. And when you get if you get confirmation here, which you do, a lot of confirmation. This is amazing. This is really good. Getting low. Up, 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 all the way. First entry. Down, up, down, second entry. It does continue with a little bit of sideways movement, but it moves down. This is the first really nice. You see here, this is probably the best thing, highest win rate trade out there. Probably. It's in a tested trend line that has been tested so many times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 maybe, I don't know. Maybe 2 only. However, it's a new low. Inside, it closes inside, but it's a new low. Up all the way, first entry, quick up, then down reaction on same bar. So good. It's basically I don't know how many tests this is, but it tests so many times around this area. You don't have to mark it like that, you can mark it like yeah, previously I tested around this area. So if you test again and it becomes a second entry, you go for it. There's the trend line, there's the tested area, and there's the EMA. This is probably 80 to 90% win rate. It is amazing. If you want, you can get 1 to 2, but I never go for those. 1.5, clean. You could also say, yeah, I'm getting out before it turns on me because it's the tested trend line, right? Getting out before it turns on me, I can get out here or here. This bar maybe. Like somewhere here. You should be very happy with this trade. Sure, this bar is a bit powerful. And you do get in the red. But again, on this bar you can see, yeah, it's really respecting everything. And it doesn't even climb up, it's a doji basically. A doji with more bearish touch because it's lower. It's a larger wick to the upside. But this is just amazing. This is the best trade of the day. The setup. Without a doubt. But you get your overshoot. No second entry, but it could have been a second entry here maybe on other assets. So I'd like to swap between assets sometimes. Just to read it right. Because of retails, I think that it gets more messy on the chart. Because of retails, in my opinion. Just in my opinion. But we're getting close to the end of the day. Could have been a clean higher low if we like ended here, then you would take it. But no trade. But that's how we end the day. Here's the overall look. Started sideways. And maybe we could have drawn this. See that it's chopping sideways, but it's starting to get lower, lower, lower. Then we get a overshoot and an uptrend that actually played out. And then it just drops. It just drops. Yeah. So we'll play. Hope you had a good trade today, whatever you traded. I don't trade Bitcoin a lot, even though it's the most liquidity, the most traded. I don't trade it the most. I trade it sometimes. But good luck in your trading. I will see you next time.